So now I just want to kind of go over the overall schedule or calendar for the year. Now, last year I would tell you when I coached my first year teachers, I'm coaching the coaches. So when I was coaching the coaches last year, I was a little more loose, lenient, kind of open-ended, saying, you know, you can start your team in like September, November. You can sign up for a competition kind of whenever you want. And I was just kind of on this, I want to let you guys do what you want to do, and I don't want to act like I'm a dictator telling you what to do. I'm changing that around because we ran into some problems. And what I'm changing is I think you right now are at a minor disadvantage of where we're at because we're in mid-September, and I've already trained teachers in June and July, and some of them already started practicing. Not all of them, but some of them. So what I would suggest you do is you want to probably start your practice as soon as you can, like in the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So don't stress out about that too much if that's not going to work for your schedule. I know there will be some teams that will start in the end of October, early November. That's fine. But here's where you cannot wait until November, and that's signing up for a competition. Because what I was very lenient on teachers last year is I'd say, you know, sign up for a competition. You know, if you sign up, you start practicing in this time frame, your practices are going to probably take at a minimum maybe 6 to 8 weeks. At a maximum, last year they had about 10 weeks. And our practice isn't like football. You're not meeting every day after school. You're meeting once a week for about an hour and a half. Okay? I would tell you you're going to meet once a week for an hour and a half. As you get closer to that competition deadline, you're probably going to start moving for 2 weeks of practice, 3 weeks of practice. A lot of you are going to start panicking. You're like, we're practicing every single day and school's canceled because our robot's not ready. Okay? And that's the competition part in you, or the competitive part of you saying, oh my gosh, my robot's not ready. And we'll talk about that. But what I'm being kind of firm on, or just saying I'm really urging you to do, you're going to want to sign up for a competition here because last year, teams would start practice in this area. 10 weeks later, winter break happens. They're like, okay, we get back from winter break, we'll start up for a competition. State last year was in the end of February. You can't have any competitions 2 weeks prior to state. So what that left is really 2 to 3 weeks in January, 2 weeks in February. You only had about 3 weekends, and 330 teachers are also trying to sign up for a competition, and they didn't have any events close to them. And you had people down in Evansville trying to drive to Fort Wayne for the local competition. So, what I'm telling you is there's over 40 competitions all throughout the state right now. There's new teachers being trained right now. I would say by the end of the month, we'll probably get maybe 6 more on board. We'll probably have close to 50 competitions that you can choose from. They'll hopefully be within no longer than an hour's drive for any team. I know some of you are in remote locations. We're trying to get a competition wherever you can. I would tell you, if you can't find one close to your school, you can host a competition. We had 30 new teachers last year host competitions. You're like, I can't. You're wanting to coach a robotics in our first year and be host an event? And I'm like, yeah, you could if you want. The neat thing about it is I'll buy you this field. It's bigger than this. This is a small version. I'll buy you a field if you host a competition. And all the money and entry fees that go to that event go to you and your team and your school. It doesn't go to REC, doesn't go to us, and doesn't go into VEX or anything like that, which is kind of cool. So let's break this down. You're all now in September. Yes?
So how soon can you start signing up for competitions? Do you have to wait until October, or are they ready?
You can sign up right now. It's just in the next, I'd say, couple weeks. So Randy's teaching, I don't know, 5 or 6 new right now. There might be 5 or 6 new events popping up somewhere, and I don't know where those will be. I would say in October that list will probably be final. But if there's an event close to you right now, in a date that, you know, maybe in a date that's far enough away where you can have 6 to 10 practices, I would lock it down. Now the only thing is you can't sign up right now, and the reason being, did you already try?
No, I was going to ask you if you know the names of your team members.
Nope, you don't. The only thing is your team has to be registered and paid. So in the homework assignment, most of you who did your homework assignment, you sent us an invoice. We got some of the invoices literally at like 1 o'clock last night, and we had training yesterday as well. So that's literally what Bree's been working on today. Is she's going to take all those invoices and send them to REC and pay them. You can't register for an event until you're paid. So you're kind of waiting on, not to put pressure on Bree, you're waiting for Bree and REC to pay for your registration. I would say by the end of next week, it should probably, would that be fair?
Yeah.
The end of next week, it should be all be taken care of, and you guys can start registering for
Just
it.
watch the pending on.
Yep, you can just go on there and once it's paid. I don't think you'll get a confirmation. They don't get confirmations that say get paid. But I would say by the end of next week, you should be able to do it. So I think you should be starting to think about forming a team, signing up for a competition close by, and then start practicing in October. And like I said, pick a day in the week that works for you. I know we all have families, lives, careers, and no day is always a good day. I tell you, Friday is probably the worst day to have a practice. But pick a day in the week that works for you. See if you can get, and we'll talk about, see if you can get an assistant coach, because sometimes as teachers we just need to go home and take a nap, okay? And you can ask the assistant coach to fill in for you that day or something like that. Maybe you just don't feel well, we need an assistant coach. So we'll talk about having helpers help us out in the schedule, but you'll start having your practices, and some of you will have a competition in this area, this range. Competitions, we don't pay for them, for them, they're $30. Okay, that's not going to break the bank in my opinion. $30 for an event. You might want to go to 2 events, and that's why I put maybe do a competition in the beginning of the semester, maybe do a second competition back here. I was surprised by how, like I said, all of our teachers last year wish they went to more than one event. And a lot of them didn't sign up for an event back here, so they went to one in maybe January, February. They're like, oh my gosh, this was so much fun. And I'm going to try to build it up as much as I can, and I'm sharing you literally testimony from other teachers last year of saying competitions are worth it. Your kids get a wonderful experience. They're so engaging. Just save yourself time to sign up for a second competition. And a lot of teachers, what they did last year is they waited till their robot was built at the end of their practice, then sign up for a competition. And a lot of them said, oh, I'm going to give myself 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, we're going to sign up for an event. Well, week 6, they're like, I don't really like where my robot is right now. So we'll wait till week 8. We'll wait till 10. You'll never be ready with your robot. I'll just tell you that right now. Our robotics team was a good team. We were one of the better teams in Indiana, and Randy's going to come in here and say that his team was better, but we always beat him. But we were never I was never satisfied. You're going to get this, I call it like the engineering bug, where you're always going to want to improve it, always make it better. It's like our cell phones. They come out with new technology all the time, and we feel like we have to have that new technology. And then they come out with new cell phones really for 2 reasons. 1, new technology comes out, and 2, we got to make money. Like, we got to start selling these, and people are going to pay $1,000 for these things. It's crazy. So, I'm a sucker for it. So, it's the same thing with robotics and engineering. These robots, you're going to have a new idea, new technology, okay? That new technology is never ever going to be 100% perfect. None of you will be able to collect all of these rings on the field, and there's more than just 3. There's 60. None of you will get a perfect score. So you'll never really be 100% satisfied and ready. The neat thing about this year's game, if your robot can move, you can score. So I've had teachers call me the week before an event freaking out saying, oh my gosh, we're not ready, we're not going to go to the competition. I'm like, does the robot move? This was last year. Last year's game was so much harder. Does the robot move? And they go, yeah. And I go, well, you're going to an event. Okay, you just need a positive attitude, get your kids excited about this, prepare them that they probably won't do too well. but it'll be a great experience, because what you'll find out is you actually get to play anywhere from 8 to 12 matches at a competition, and you can improve and work on your robot between matches. So if you see another robot, you're like, oh, that's a cool idea. You can go back to the pits and work on your robot to improve it. And then the next round, maybe the first round you got 10 points, maybe the next round you got 12 points. You're like, all right, guys, let's see if we can get 15 the next round. Let's improve it and try to get 15. And that is what you're doing, is trying to work on goals internally as a team, not comparing yourselves to other teams saying, we got to get all 60 rings. That's not realistic. All right, so that's kind of the overall schedule to think about. Starting your team and signing up for a competition here. Having practices, maybe going to one competition here and having time to maybe have a second semester. Maybe you only finding the closest event doesn't happen until January, February. Maybe that's the only one you go to. That's okay. I'm just telling you that a lot of teachers told me last year that they wish they went to another one. Some teachers say, well, should I go to observe a competition before I bring my team? And a teacher asked this yesterday. I go, Last year I said, yeah, that's a great idea because they're free to attend. Anyone can go to them. But then I thought, well, if you're going to drive to a competition close by to watch, you might as well take your kids and your robot and compete because it's only $30. So if there's one close by, just bring your robot and do it. February will be the last. It'll probably be only 2 weeks in February that we'll have competitions, maybe 3 weeks, and then state's going to be that second week in March.